Ches. Going back. In the pamphlet, the pamphlet has much broader pages, bigger print, and all that. Okay. Shlach lecho anoshim v'yosuru seres Canaan. Which is what Hashem told Moshe, that he should send men, they should be spies essentially, v'yosuru seres Canaan, and they should spy out Eretz Canaan. Tzorich lehovin, this is known as the Meraglim. Everybody knows about the Meraglim. Tzorich lehovin, you wish to understand mahu inyan shlichus hameraglim. What is the principle? What is the whole point of shlichus hameraglim, of sending out the meraglim? Normally, when you're going to wage war and you want to conquer a land, you send out spies to find out what is the means to break through into this land? To wage war on, so to speak, on two equal sides. But the shlichus hameraglim, in that case, what is the point? Since that the overall principle of kvishas ha'oretz, of conquering of the land, haya lo inyan tivi, was not a natural inyan. The intent of it was not to wage a war on the basis of natural capabilities. Therefore, what was the point of the entire inyan, of the whole thing of shlichusam, of sending the meraglim? For when the kvish, the conquest, is in a natural path or manner, shayach losur koidem, there it's applicable losur koidem, to spy out first leida, to know to know the strength, the degree of strength of the Medina, of the land. And what is the manner with which you approach this land and to subdue it. But in that instant of subduing and capturing the land, as Israel, it will appear that this whole inyan is not applicable. Therefore, what was the point of the meraglim?
So the point is not to conquer. It is to conquer, right? The point is to conquer.
But not in a natural way.
Okay.
V'gam mahu inyan v'yosuru es ha'oretz. What is the expression v'yosuru es ha'oretz? Lama le'nemar. Why is it not presented in the first place? L'ragil es ha'oretz. Normally, the reference of spying is l'ragil es ha'oretz. We'll try to explain the difference. As in the case of Yeshua, later on when Yeshua was actually in the process of conquering the land, so when he first approached it, before they even crossed the Yarden, I believe, so Yeshua sent Shnayim Anoshim Meraglim. He sent two men Meraglim. Meraglim, the word Meraglim comes from the word regel, that they would walk through the land and see what are the pathways and where is the weak spot that you can enter it. The asuru is a different expression. Asuru means to look through the land. The ragin is normally the expression is meraglim, that they go through in a stealthy way that's squeezing through with their feet, so to speak, not paying attention to what's going on, and that is what they're raglim. So why in this passage the expression is yotsuru, not meraglim? Vehinay Moshe Omer Lahem Gimel Dvorim Liris. Now, when we approach it more specifically, we see that Moshe told the meraglim 3 things that they should observe. Aleph, the first thing, is ha'om, the people. Shazeh Omar, regarding this inyan to observe the people, he says, Uriisem es ha'oretz mahi. You should go through Uriisem es ha'oretz, and you should see the land mahi. What is the mahi? What is it consists of? The kavana hi. What is the intent of it? See the land. You know what I mean? The landscape. It means al yeshvei ha'oretz. Talking about the inhabitants of the land. As Rashi points out, that refers to the dwellers of the land. So this is the first thing that Moshe directed them, that they should try to understand and observe. Beis. And the other thing is to recognize the land itself. And as the Pasuk then goes on and details, Ha'oretz Kuli, what is the land? And they Ha'oretz, and what is the land? And then he details, is it a lean land or is it a fat land? Is it a productive land or is it a barren land? This is the land itself. Gimel, and the third thing, the Ha'orim, the cities, Ha'orim. What are the cities? Meaning, what kind of cities are they living in? Are they defensible cities with surrounded walls, or are they open cities? Now we need to understand Mahu Gimel Inyonim Eilu. What is the principle of these 3 inyonim? Clearly, this is a part of the Torah. In other words, there is a Torah meaning in this whole investigation and seeing these 3 things. The dwellers of the land itself, what kind of productive or unproductive land it is, and what kind of defense the cities provide.
What was the difference between Moru and Meraglim?
I'm sorry?
We say that ours...
Yotsuru.
What's the difference between these 2?
The word Meraglim means people that walk on their feet and are completely unobtrusive. They just stealthily walk through. Yotsuru means that they're constantly observing. They're looking around.
Tourists.
Like
tourists.
A tourist, right. An innocent tourist.
So Yotsuru doesn't fit in with how they seem to have been originally sent.
Right. I mean, the purpose of their mission is not to be tourists, like Torah means a tourist. The purpose of their mission was to spy out, to go through and be unobtrusive.
Yeah.
And yet the Pasuk calls him a Tayorim.
And it uses Meraglim as well.
by Yeshua it says meraglim.
Here
And
it
by
does not.
Moshe it's a Yisura.
Huh?
By Moshe it's Yisura.
Yisur.
Which means they walked intentionally and they were observed as spies. Or did they conceal themselves as spies?
Well, they did not announce that they are coming there to see the weakness of the land, but they were just walking through. They went through the entire land, not just. But Mishur, they went to one city, Yericho. Here they went through the entire land. It can very easily be interpreted as a tayar.
Tayar is tourist.
A tourist. Ma shene'amar lo shein ma b'kolechad v'yechad. Furthermore, how do we interpret the fact that in each one of these three focused question, it begins with the word ma. Ma means what? What is the land? What is the cities? Ma ha'aretz. The expression ma is kind of implying there's some hidden meaning to that. To understand all of the above. Namely, why are these people called tayorim rather than meraglim? And what are the three things that the significant three things that they were instructed to observe? And why each one of these three things is preceded by the word mo? To understand all of this, yesh lehagdim, it would be fitting lehagdim to reintroduce ma shenisboer leyil, what we have explained previously. The oirois explained previously that the oirois im heyoisam pshutim, despite the fact that the oirois relative to the kelim are pshutim, without a defining element, without limit, nonetheless, einam b'bechina pshitus lega'amamish. They are not in the state of pshitus mamosh. Mamosh means literally pshitus, without any content at all, without any implication at all. Ki pshitus ho'in soif. Like the pshitus of the Ein Sof. Normally, the principle of the pshitus of the oiros is due to the fact that the oiros are drawn from the Oir Ein Sof, and they are representative of the Oir Ein Sof. Again, in our Mashalim, what is this? Oh, it's there. Okay. In our Mashalim, as we have spoken about this many, many times, we say in the human being is a phenomenal creature, representative of, because American you say almost representative and reflecting Ein Sof Elokus. So that by the human being we said that, as an example, Odom Shein Lebayis Ein Ayod, that there's a principle in that he has a home, place, and then in the home there is furnishings. And as we have been discussing, that the furnishings also are reflective of the principle of what the human being is. The furnishings are also reflective the pshitus of the human being, not the practical needs of the human being. So therefore, that's also the pshitus. It's not the keli, not the momentary necessity. It's not created by the worldly limit. It's created from the human spirit itself.
What are all these furnishings? All these
Everything that's in the home is representative of the human spirit.
So we're saying even after they're kalim, they have a pshitus.
No, the oil that's in the keli
Maintains its pshitus.
maintains its pshitus. We always say that there's a human element in everything that in every keli. This human element, this is like the pshitus. But from pshitus, it's not born out of necessity. It is a representative of the human being. And this is what we're saying, that the oiros are drawn from the oirins, from the Ein Sof, and they are therefore pshutim, because they're all representative of the Ein Sof. But he says that we have explained them previously. This is what the whole effort was in the previous Maimon Nosai, that even though they're pshitas, but enam pshitas mamosh, ki pshitas o Ein Sof. They're not in the same realm of pshitus like the pshitus Ein Sof, not literally pshitus. Again, going back to our moshel, but the human being, there is no question that we can recognize that the the human element that is represented in the home is a much broader and more principal human element than the furnishings. The furnishings do have a definition. This is for this is for that, this is for that. We have a defining element. Although they're all stemming and representing the human spirit. As we were saying, that even comfort and convenience is also based on the human spirit. This is entirely on a keli level. So he says that yes, it is pshutim, but they're not kipshitas or Ein Sof, not in the same, not pshutim mamash. And we said in that moment, on what basis are we saying that they're not pshutim mamash, kipshitas or Ein Sof? Shaharei, since that way, as we could see, Omar b'Sefer Yitziro. It says in Sefer Yitziro, referring to the spheroids, as spheroids, bli ma. Ten spheroids, bli ma. So if they are pshutim, kipshitus mamash, so how can you count them 10? Then there's one. It says as spheres, yes, it's blima, which means they are still retaining any element of shitus, but nevertheless they are countable 10. Shagam, which is implying shagam beho oirois, that in the oirois too, yesh as spheres, there is 10 spheres, 10 distinct qualities. Rak, except Shahem blima legabe hakelim. That they're blima, this is, as we explained, legabe hakelim, relative to the kelim. In the kelim, they become fully defined, they become like a mitzias. Whereas the oiros, there isn't that mitzias. Again, we can readily identify this principle in the mashal that we have presented from the emotional thing from the human being. That when you say bli ma means, what is this about? What is this for? What's compelling this presence? Meaning, what's compelling this presence at the point of presence in the worldly context? Is this definition of what this element is? Should we say no? It's bli ma. A human being is not compelled to be in the world bichlal. He's a spirit which is above the world. He comes in the world for a certain mission. But the spirit itself is independent, is above it. Pshitus. Like we demonstrate this in the process of breathing, the breathing process, which is the defining element of human life on the physical level, mamish on the physical level, and therefore there is the whole activity in and out, mamish a worldly activity. But nonetheless, while the worldly activity, this is something which comes unobtrusively. It is representative of the presence of life in general, not presence of life in the human being. Like we said, the source, Ein Sof. So therefore, relative to the kelim, relative to where it's mislabish and what it affects, it is bli ma. But it is only legabe hakelim bli ma, but in essence, there is a definitive element in it. That's a spheres. Like we're saying again in our moshel of the breathing, the breath is presented to the person in a manner that his kelim are able to participate in it. Breathe in and out. You can't give a person enough breath that it should sustain him for a lifetime. Even though this breath, this little breath that he gets, is related to a lifetime resource, to the essence of life.
Good morning.
The nimshal is this Esospheres of Atzilus?
The nimshal is, well, yes, as a sphere is the Atzilus and above. Yeah. Ben Yisboir, and we also explained previously, the hakav, that the kav. What is the kav? This is as we said, the focused beam of light that ultimately comes through after the tzimtzum into the world, into the creation. It's called a kav. because although it is rooted and it's representative of the Ayin Seif, but it comes with a tzimtzum, and therefore it comes in a focused and in a directed manner, which is a kav, a line. So we explained there that the kav gam k'moi shehu kol boirin soiv shelifnei hatzimtzum, even as this kav is included in the Ayin Sof before the tzimtzum, which
what means the kav was cooler? Before the tzimtzum, there was chlala kav.
there was the root for the kav. That's what we learned. There was the spheres as they are included in Ayin Sof, and this is what enabled that to be ultimately the kav. The kav k'mishal kol bein sof shelifnei hatzimtzum yesh bei esses spheres. There too there is esses spheres. The hein, and those are the esses spheres hagnuzois. This is what we discussed at the very end of what we are learning. Esses spheres hagnuzois, the concealed and the hidden esses spheres, they're hidden in the, so to speak, in the treasure box. Shehein shoyresh umokir hagvu. These esses spheres hagnuzois that are contained in Ayin Sof, this is the root and the source of gvul, of the possibility of there being finite representation. Ulegabe madregozu, and relative and from the perspective of this madrega, of the way it is, esses filas haknusis, hakav hu b'bchinas gilui ha'elam. From the relative to this madrega of the esses filas hagnusos, esses filas as they are contained in the Ayin Sof, the kav is only gilui ha'elam, revealing that which is there previously in a concealed way. But then, relative to the Ayin Sof itself, hu bein arich. It is not gilui ha'elam, means it's revealing what is there previously, which means it's the similar thing but in a revealed state. And now we're saying Ayin Sof, which is Ayin Sof literally. So then, the kav is be'en aroich. It's not comparable at all. It's not that the kav reveals the Ayin Sof.
Does not.
But
You say the kav does not reveal the Ayin Sof.
that's right.
Even though it's a gilui, it
It's a
doesn't.
gilui from that which is contained in the Ayin Sof, not the Ayin Sof itself. Okay, this still remains to be discussed. We just touched upon it. So, again, going back to a moshel, because that's the only way we can. Oh, it's 7:10 already.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so we owe us this explanation.
In a
Okay.
grub way, it's to say it's grub. It's like there's something extraneous in Ayin Sof called the kav.
Right. So we have to interrupt now. No, right. It sounds like it's, but that's not what it is.
Yeah, obviously.